Welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and on today's show, I'll welcome Miguel Guerrero, General Manager of the San Bernardino Municipal Water Department, for a talk about its long history. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Well, here with me to talk about the history and importance of water in the city of San Bernardino is Miguel Guerrero, General Manager of the San Bernardino Municipal Water Department. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Your department, I was surprised to learn, goes back 120 years.
That's right. We hit a significant milestone this year. We turned 120 years, been around since 1905, and quite a bit of history there.
Do people understand how much has changed since those early years? I was shocked to read that, again, 1905, mayor appoints the first members of the city's water board. The first water distribution system cost $160,000, served 1 square mile and about 6,000 people. Tell us what it's like today.
Well, today we still have the same structure, which has served the city and the water department well. We still have a water board made up of 5 commissioners. The system has expanded a little bit. We now have about 750 miles of pipelines out in our service area, which is about 45 square miles. So we've grown, but the whole area has grown, and the water department, along with everything that goes on in a city like this, grows with it. So,
can you talk about, for those that may not know, what does the city's water department do? What is the scope of your mission?
So the city's water department handles both water and wastewater. So typically you hear water department, you think we just deal with potable water, but we actually do wastewater as well. So on the water side, we manage over 50 groundwater wells, which is where we get 100% of our water from the underlying Bunker Hill groundwater basin. I mentioned 750 miles of pipeline, many pump stations, and many reservoirs to store this water. On the wastewater side, the system itself is 450 miles and thousands of manholes that you'll see out in the streets. We manage a water reclamation plant that's located south side of the city. That also treats wastewater from the city of Loma Linda. So it's not only the city of San Bernardino on that side of the utility, but we also take in wastewater from Loma Linda and neighboring county areas as well. We also have a wastewater treatment plant that further treats what we do here in the city, down in the city of Colton. We have a joint ownership of a plant down there where we do the last bit of treatment on the wastewater side and then discharge into the Santa Ana River. So we discharge about 22 to 23 million gallons per day into the river.
Is it challenging to essentially have a position where people don't want to know the details? They just want to know that when I turn my tap on, clean water is going to come out. Clean and safe water is going to come out. Don't tell me how it works.
Yeah.
I just want to know that it's going to be there when I need it.
It is challenging. As long as you turn the tap and the water comes out, or you flush a toilet and the toilet flushes, everything's good. But the second it doesn't, there's quite a bit that goes into it. And we do our best to inform the community of what the water department does, how it works, everything in the background that we do to get that water to your home, everything in the background that we do to receive that wastewater and then treat it and release it back into the environment. So it's part of our job because it's a utility that you don't see. In a city like San Bernardino, and just cities in general, you see the streets, you see the lights. That's what people really
you see the men working signs.
You see all of that, but you don't see what's underground, and you don't see what it takes to serve water or treat wastewater.
Well, in terms of what you don't see and what you don't know, and that 120 years of history, I understand there's a book coming out about the department. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's right. A couple years ago, the water department commissioned a history book. So we've been working with an excellent author, Jeff Kreider, who's done several history books for water utilities.
He's a former local journalist?
That's right, a former local journalist. He's done history books for Coachella, the San Bernardino Valley Municipal Water District, that's here local. So we brought him on board. 120 years, we have a rich history. And it's not just 120 years and we've expanded from a square mile to 45 square miles. there are some very neat moments in the department's history that we wanted to make sure we captured and put in a book that everyone can use and understand the history, but also use as a valuable resource for water supplies here in the Inland Empire and Southern California. We had many legal battles.
I was going to say, we were talking about that before we went on camera, that it's not always pleasant, that there are fights, there are, court battles that stretch on for years.
No, that's right, and we've had our share here. Most recently, we had issues, certain issues with agencies that we've since resolved, but back in the 60s and the 50s, we have folks like Margaret Chandler, Harold Willis, Bob Holcomb, that did everything they could to make sure that they secured this area's, this region, this city's water future. And they did that by putting up a fight against Metropolitan Water District. And you'll see that in one of the most interesting parts of the book is that fight against this giant, in the Metropolitan Water District, and the push by the three folks that I mentioned to put our future into our own hands and not necessarily join this Metropolitan Water District, but take matters into our own hands and secure our water future by going directly and securing water from Northern California, not buying into the Colorado River aqueduct, because it didn't make sense for this community. So you'll see that in the book, along with a lot of other rich history.
We'll have more with Miguel Guerrero from the San Bernardino Municipal Water Department right after these messages.
Animal Services needs you. Do you love animals and are looking for a way to help the shelter? We have foster and volunteer opportunities year-round. We need foster parents who can advocate for their foster pets' adoption. The shelter has many dogs, cats, kittens, and puppies that could benefit from a foster home. Some animals, especially underage ones like Cole here, require more care than the shelter can provide. Most of the time, they only need a few weeks of TLC before they are ready to be adopted out. For more information, you can visit the Foster tab on www.sbcitypets.org. If you need help selecting a foster pet, email our foster team at fosterpet@sbcity.org. Want to say hi, Cole?
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Well, I'm talking all about water with Miguel Guerrero, the general manager of the San Bernardino Municipal Water Department, particularly a book that's coming out about the department's 120-year history. Was there anything that surprised you about the history? I mean, you've been with the department for quite a number of years. You've been its general manager for a number of years. Was there anything you hadn't known before you kind of delved into this exhaustive book?
I think a little bit of history of the city and how the department grew with the city. You know, this area is a county seat, and the city is a county seat, and this is where the more residential property was back in the day. Agriculture surrounded it, but it's changed over time. And you'll see in the book, and that's the nice thing about the book, is from the very start, and you talked about the size of the system, as the system grows, the city and the region grows, and you see this major shift from orange groves to more residential. And the book captures that well. But it also captures how on the water side, our demands over time have shifted. Today, believe it or not, we use less water today than we did back in the 60s because of agriculture. So that's always shocking to hear, because here we are 60 plus years later and we're using less water. Population has grown, but it's a major shift in the region. So you'll see that on the book. That one of the more surprising things that people don't realize as you read into the history of the water department.
Going forward, are there initiatives that people should know about that you sort of wish got a little more attention?
Well, there's the book also captures what we're working on and the challenges that we have going on today. Climate change is a big deal. Drought. We recently, in the last decade or two, have experienced some significant drought periods, and that has really caught the eyes of Sacramento and us as well. We want to make sure that, and especially myself as general manager, that we secure the water future for this community well into the future, for the next century. And there's a lot that goes into that. One of the big initiatives that we recently actually achieved a major milestone on is recycled water. September of this year, we started recycling water and can now produce up to 2.5 million gallons per day of recycled water. So we take our wastewater and treat it to a level that allows us to utilize that water. So less dependency on the groundwater basin, less dependency on our potable system. So and we work closely with our partners, East Valley Water District, Redlands, San Bernardino Valley as well. East Valley is now recycling water, about 6 million gallons per day. We're doing 2.5 million gallons per day. We can expand to 5, they'll expand. In the near future, we'll be recycling up to 15 million gallons per day. And that is nearly half of the city's current demand in water. Our current average demand is about 30 to 35 million gallons per day. So it's huge, and it just adds to our portfolio and secures that water future for this community.
Have advances in technology made it easier to kind of stay ahead of the curve on some of these issues?
We see a lot of advances in technology on the wastewater and water side. One of the biggest challenges is the regulations are always changing. There's always new ways to treat not only the actual wastewater that we take in, but the air that it creates, the digester gas, the solids that it produces, and how we treat those. There's quite a bit going on right now to make sure we keep up with the regulations, and it's costly and it takes quite a bit of work. But we rely on these new technologies to be able to do that, and to be able to do that in the most efficient way possible, and environmentally way possible for this community.
You talked about water as an invisible utility. How can people get more involved?
Well, our website is a great resource.
Okay.
We try to take the approach where we want to inform folks on how we do what we do. Not just that we provide water and take your wastewater, but how do we do it? So our website is a valuable resource for that. We also have a team that goes out, a public affairs team, that goes out many times a month, visits the different groups in the city to provide information on what the water department does and provide information on conservation, water efficient use. Because that is very key to what we're trying to do, is to, I don't want to say conserve water, but use water efficiently is what we're trying to do. And we try to educate and inform the community on how we can do that.
Before I let you go, I want to give out that web address, sbmwd.org, SBM, San Bernardino Municipal Water Department.org. Miguel, thank you for being on the program.
Oh, thank you very much.
Visit iealive.com.